In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make a custom curtain wall panel. I've already created an example here, and I'll try to walk you through how to make something like this. This is basically a curtain wall panel with steel bars on the corners and a glass panel, and you can change the materials any way you want. So let's see how we can create something like this. First off, I'm going to create a new project in Revit, and I'm using 2012, but the menus will be similar. And I'm going to create a simple wall. Let's make this 20 inches. Actually, let's make it 30. And then I'm going to place another wall, but this time I'm going to make it a curtain wall, and I'm just going to draw it in front of this wall, assuming this is a structural wall or a wall without any windows, and we're going to just clad it using this new curtain wall that I'm drawing in front of it. And if I go to 3D view and turn on the materials, this is what I have right now, so no panels yet. So in order to create the panel, I have to create a custom family, and for that I need to go to Revit and create a new family. And under the family options, I'm going to pick curtain wall panel and open it. Now this is where you draw your curtain wall panel. Any type of custom shape you can draw it and then load it into the project, and when you select the curtain wall, you can select the panel type and tile it over the curtain wall. So let's look at how we can construct something simple. I'm going to look at the interior view, and by default Revit gives us kind of a nice dimensioning template. So if you look at it, this will be the interior side of these axis lines will define a tile. And what I'm going to do is just create some offsets here, and let's go to our home tab, reference plane, and I'm going to pick lines, and I'm going to pick 2 inches, and I'm going to start offsetting some of these. And I need 2 sets of offsets. Now after I'm done, I'm going to constrain these so that when we flex our model, if you flex it now, you will see that these offsets are not constrained. We need to constrain it so that the tiles will be dynamic, but the offsets will be fixed. So I'm going to go to the Annotate tab, pick the Aligned Annotation, and then here I'm going to create these new dimensions and hit Equalize. Then I need one more set, and then lock this one. So what this does is, when I move this, the boundary of the curtain wall panel, the offsets will be moved with it. So I have to do this for the corresponding 4 sides. So I'll do it here, equalize, and then an overall dimension and lock it. Same thing for here, equalize, and then lock this one, and then I need one for the bottom. And lock it. Now let's start flexing our tile. This seems about right. Let's flex this one. This is about right, so we could go ahead and model something inside of this now. So I'm going to go to the Home tab, and under Extrusion, I'm going to select the extrusion type and then draw a panel here. We could pick the rectangle, and I'm not drawing the outside boundary will be the whole tile, but I'm going to use the interior offset so that we could create some gap between the tiles. And then I'm going to lock these to the reference planes that I have, and now I have created the glass panel. And if you go to your left view, this will be the thickness of the panel right now, so we need to make it a bit thinner. So I'm going to create some reference planes on the section, and the thickness for those I'm going to use 2 inches again. And I'm going to create some offsets here, and this glass panel I'm going to constrain it to the first offset and then lock it in place. Let's do it for the other side as well, and lock it. So this is the pinned one is where the curtain wall surface would be. So this side, as you can see, it's going to be the exterior side, and this side is going to be the interior side of the curtain wall panel. So now I need to add the steel bars, and for that I'm going to create some simple extrusions and circles, and this could be just 1 inch in diameter. And after you place one, you should just look at it in the section. So this is our steel bar, and I want this side to be snapped to this dimension, and this side to be snapped to this dimension, so that it will create these will be the anchors basically. So there's going to be a wall here, and this panel is going to be anchored to the wall using this steel bar, and we need 4 of those. So I'm going to go back to the interior view and simply mirror these. So select the anchor, draw a vertical axis. Now this one is mirrored. Select 2 of them, mirror by an axis, and now they're placed. Now before we confirm that we are done with this, we have to flex the model again. So when you flex it, if these offsets and the bars are moving, then this panel is pretty much working. So I'm going to go to the 3D view, and this is what I've created. You would notice that the materials are generic, so they have the same material. Maybe we want to use different types of materials. So I'm going to create some material parameters for this panel, and I'll select the glass, and then on the Properties tab in the Materials bar, here we have a material assigned to this as by category. If you give it a material here, it will be when you import it into your project, the panel will take that material by default, and you won't have access to change it. And if you want to have access, you need to associate this to a parameter. So in order to create it, I'm clicking on this little button next to the material, and then here I want to add a parameter, and I'm going to type in glass material, and then I'm going to select the steel bars, and then do the same operation to them, add a material, and then specify the parameter name. And these 2 parameters are defined. And before I load it into the project, I'm going to save this file, and let's rename it as custom panel 1. Now I'm going to load this back into my project, which is project 2. Now if I go back to the 3D view, this is my curtain wall, and I'm going to select the curtain wall, and I'm going to go to Edit Type, and here I can specify the curtain panel, which is the 3rd one on the top under construction. So I can click on this drop down menu, and these are all the curtain panels that are available. We could create glass material, solid glazing, or doors, and here I have at the bottom my custom panel type, and I'm just going to select it, and we need to define some dimensions for this. So the vertical grid and the horizontal grid, we can give it some distances. So I'm going to use fixed number, 5 feet, and the other one as well, 5 feet for fixed number. When you hit apply and hit OK, this will generate the panel on the curtain wall. And right now you will notice that the bars are pointing away from the wall, so we need to fix that. So I go to the plan view and I'll select the curtain wall, and this arrow will flip the panels. So if you click on it, these items are flipped now, so I can move them to this wall. So the panels are pretty much set, but I need to change the materials. So I'm going to select the curtain wall and use the tab key and select one of the panels. And once you select it, you could go to edit type, and then you will have access to the materials here. So for the steel material, I'm going to pick metal aluminum, and for the glass, I'm going to pick glass. Hit apply, hit OK. Now the materials are applied. If you want to change the sizes of these, you could also subdivide this wall in a custom grid, and then use these tiles, assign these tiles. So let's look at how we could do that as well. So I'm going to make a copy of this, and go to the 3D view, and this one I'm going to disable the custom panel, so I'll specify it to be none. Hit apply and OK. Let's see what's wrong. None, none, none. For some reason it's not working. Let me create another one. So I'll go to level 1, wall, curtain wall. So I'm going to create a new one here, and go to 3D. Now it already has some divisions, so we could go to edit type, and you will see that the fixed number, the subdivisions are already in place. So we need to differentiate this one. So I'll go to edit type again. Right now they're the same curtain wall 1 type, so I'm going to duplicate this one and rename it to be curtain wall 2. Actually it's already in place. And then change these layout settings and hit apply. And it's going to tell me that it's going to delete the grid lines, so I say OK. And let's go to the elevation view. And now I have the curtain wall here. So I'm going to add some grid lines to it. So I go to curtain grid, and I'm just going to add some random grid lines with different sizes so that we could create some variations. And then let's edit some of these, so we could remove some of these segments. So you can select some of the grid lines and add remove segments, and then click on the segments you want to remove. And then let's remove some of these as well. Let's say this is my layout. What I'm going to do is, if you go back to your 3D view, now we have these subdivisions, and I'm going to select the curtain wall again, and go to edit type, and the curtain panel, I'll assign it to be the custom panel that we have created, and hit apply and hit OK. Now the panels have been generated in the custom shapes that we have defined. So I'll go to the floor plan it was facing the other way again, so I'll just flip the curtain wall and it's done. So you could create regular panels or define a custom panel and then populate it based on the subdivision that you have on the curtain wall, and you will be able to give them any type of material as well. So this would be a simple example of how you can create your own custom curtain wall panel.